Hello, boxing fans. I know you see all these boxers down here, but for now we are doing only the welterweights. I know Virgil Ortiz isn't on here, but fuck that cocaine-sniffing, fake ab-having, lingerie-wearing freak known as Oscar de la Hoya and Golden Boy Promotions. We'll just use Canelo's picture in his place because he's Mexican. All right, Donald and Joe, are y'all ready? Okay, let's start with the mains first. Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr.
I'm going to be the first to say that Errol Spence Jr. belongs in S tier. He is my favorite fighter in the division and actually has fought outside of his hometown, unlike Bud Crawford.
Oh, come the fuck on, Donald, you orange prick. Terrence Crawford is simply the best switch hitter since Marvin Hagler. His knockouts of Benavidez, Porter, and Kell Brook demonstrated that his skills are unreal. He simply deserves the #1 pound-for-pound ranking S tier all the way.
Errol Spence Jr. is a better boxer than Terrence Crawford's Sleepy Joe. Sure, he may not be flashy, but his fundamentals and cardio are on another level. His best aspects, however, is his distance management and punch variety, something casual fight fans do not pick up on. And let's not forget, Crawford's been wobbled by a 126-pounder in Gamboa and got knocked down by Mean Machine. Why does Terrence Crawford get so much credit for fighting Spence's leftovers and washed champions?
I'm with Donald on this one, Joe. Terrence Crawford's resume and skills are absolutely ballooned by people like ESPN.
Oh, you bastards, put him in A, but don't be surprised if Crawford puts that first L on Spence. Fuckers.
Okay, moving on to Manny Pacquiao.
Manny Pacquiao is one of my favorite fighters, believe me. 8-division world champion. That is fucking unheard of. His straight left hand was a piston and demolished every Mexican, fighter in his way. I'm not a fan of the excuses he would give when he lost, like the shoulder bullshit against Mayweather, but still from the upbringing he came from, he is S tier for his legacy. However, strictly for welterweight, I would put him in A tier. Bad losses like the Jeff Horn and Ugas fights take him down a notch.
Yeah, I have to agree, Donald. Manny Pacquiao would be GOAT tier for his career, but at welterweight, I'll put him at A tier. He was a technical brawler who feared no one, but one flaw he had was every time he threw his straight left hand, his head would lean forward and be open. He also apparently got super religious, which made him not as vicious in the ring. However, legacy-wise, he is S tier.
All right, dudes, moving on. What the hell do we rate Shawn Porter?
Shawn Porter is, quite frankly, a classic B-tier fighter. Sure, he was the WBC champion, but his win over Ugas was questionable. I like his brawling style because it's pure entertainment, but from a boxing technician like myself, I do not like him. He fights like he is in quicksand, swinging his arms like an idiot, hoping to land something big, even though he don't got power like that. Errol Spence beat him at his own game. And maybe if he had a better trainer than his father, he might have been a better fighter. He's got tremendous heart, but sadly fell short because of mediocre fight IQ. B tier.
Shawn Porter reminds me of the good old days when we would just brawl in the streets over a gallon of milk. But I agree, Shawn Porter's style is better for the casual fan. But as a boxing savant, his style gives me sadness. Why, man? You were gifted with athleticism, but you fight like a stupid ass.
I wholeheartedly agree with you guys. Shawn Porter is a B tier, but would have been an A tier if he fought with his brain instead of his balls. I agree. Okay, right, time to rank Keith Sometimes Thurman.
Keith Thurman needs to shave that bullshit off of his head.
Yeah, I have way better hair than Keith Sometime Thurman. Ever since that man got married, he lost his fire for boxing. He used to swing wildly, but man, was he fun to watch in his prime. I know he's trying to make a comeback, but I just don't see that same pop in his punches since the Pac-Man fight. I just think that the top welterweights now have his number and would probably smoke him.
Yeah, I think Thurman's best days are behind him, but who knows, he might prove me wrong. Next, Danny Swift Garcia.
Danny Garcia is overrated as fuck. Why do people give him credit for beating all these washed or old fighters like Brandon Rios, Eric Morales, Paulie Malignaggi, Robert Guerrero, and Jose Benavidez? I think the problem with Danny is he gets outboxed a lot and ends up relying too much on that no-look overhand right that he's in love with. He's got a good chin, though. I'll give him that.
Yeah, I agree, Donald. Danny gets way too much fucking credit for his resume. He's tough, but man, like Pop used to say, you gotta fake it till you make it, and Danny's a perfect example of that. He's also got a stupid nickname because that motherfucker ain't Swift at all.
Yeah, I completely agree that Danny Garcia is overrated. I'ma just put Danny Garcia at B tier behind Porter. What's the verdict on Virgil Ortiz?
Another guy bound to be fucked by Oscar's pathetic ass.
Virgil Ortiz is mid as of right now. Yes, he has power, but the sleazebag named Oscar de la Coca is and will continue to hold back this man's career. He did get stunned by Mean Machine, but bounced back. Until he fights a notable opponent, a C tier is reasonable.
Couldn't agree more, guys. Oscar de la Hoya is a disgrace of a promoter. Last but not least, Boots Ennis. I know he's not on here, but just use one of the Charlo brothers.
Boots Ennis definitely has the potential to be the champion, but he hasn't fought a notable opponent yet. I know he looks invincible right now, but believe me, he gets overconfident sometimes and leaves himself open. So hopefully he clears that up in the near future. Just put one of the Charlo brothers' pictures in his place.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, Don.
All right, boys, that's the list. I know some of the viewers will disagree, but this list is factual. And side note, Floyd Mayweather is still the GOAT. Suck my dick, casuals.